Kenya's journey to democracy has been a long and turbulent road. But how did we get here?
Enough of you taking advantage of us. And it started very simply by rejecting the finance bill. So my last statement, smart as I sit down. The framers of the Constitution 2010, and I will read because I have posted it on my Twitter, said but a few things. That the greatest threat to liberty in Kenya is an all-powerful central government where only a few dictate the many.
To understand Kenya's democratic evolution, we must start with its colonial past. Under British rule, the native Kenyans faced significant oppression, leading to the rise of nationalist movements in the early 20th century. Jomo Kenyatta, a key figure in the fight for independence, led the Kenyan African National Union, KANU. The Mau Mau uprising of the 1950s was also a crucial moment as freedom fighters took up arms against the colonial government, demanding land and freedom. Kenya gained independence on December 12, 1963, with Kenyatta becoming the country's first president. However, the new nation faced significant challenges, including ethnic division and the need to establish a stable government. Kenyatta's administration focused on national building and economic development. However, his government was also marked by favorism and the consolidation of power within a small elite group. Initially seen as a unifying figure, Moi quickly moved to centralize power, suppress dissent, and stifle political opposition. The 1982 coup attempt by the Kenya Air Force was a significant event in Moi's early presidency. Although it was swiftly crushed, it led to a crackdown on dissent and the constitutional amendment that made KANU the only legal political party.
Nataka kwanza kuwatoleni nyinyi watu wa Nairobi.
Throughout the 1980s and early 1990s, many courageous lawyers, activists, and journalists faced harassments, imprisonment, or exile for criticizing the government. However, the end of the Cold War brought new pressure for democratic reforms, both domestically and from international donors. In 1992, Kenya held its first multi-party election since independence, while Moi retained power. The elections were marred by violence, especially in the Rift Valley, where ethnic tensions were manipulated for political gain. The 1997 elections were similarly fraught with violence and manipulation. Despite these challenges, civil society groups and opposition parties continued to push for reforms, leading to the Inter-Party Parliamentary Group, IPPG, agreements aimed at creating a fair political environment. The 2002 elections marked a turning point. The National Rainbow Coalition, NAC, led by Mwai Kibaki, united various opposition groups and tribes. Kibaki's victory ended KANU's 24-year rule and brought a new hope for democratic governance.
Mimi, Mwai Kibaki, naapa kwamba
Kibaki's administration prioritized economic growth and infrastructure development. It also faced challenges, including internal divisions within NAC and widespread corruption. The push for a new constitution gained momentum, aiming to address these issues and creating a more accountable government. The proposed new constitution was put to a referendum in 2005, was rejected by voters. This defeat highlighted the deep political and ethnic division within the country. The 2007 elections were a pivotal moment in Kenya's history. The disputed results led to widespread violence, resulting in over 1,000 deaths and displacing hundreds of thousands of people. The crisis underscored the urgent need of comprehensive reforms.
Them the little they managed to salvage from their destroyed houses. And here, those who have just arrived are queuing to register. They will have to do so, or else they don't get any help.
International mediation led by former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan resulted in power-sharing agreement between Kibaki and opposition leader Raila Odinga. This agreement paved the way for significant constitutional reforms. And in 2010, Kenyans overwhelmingly approved a new constitution. The new document aimed to reduce the concentration of power in the presidency, establish a devolved system of government, and enhance human rights protection. The 2013 election saw the rise of Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto, who faced charges at the International Criminal Court (ICC) for their alleged roles in the 2007-2008 post-election violence. Despite the charges, they won the election, and the ICC cases were eventually dropped due to lack of evidence. Kenya's democracy continues to face challenges. Recently, we have seen significant protests, particularly by the youth, demanding transparency, accountability, and an end to corruption. President William Ruto's government has faced criticism for actions seen as undermining these democratic principles. The firing and rehiring of cabinet secretaries has sparked controversies, contradicting the demands of the Gen Zs, who have been vocal in their calls for a transparent and accountable government. These young Kenyans are demanding real change. They want a government that listens to its people, upholds the rule of law, and promotes justice and equality for all. Their voices echo the struggles and aspirations of past generations, highlighting the ongoing quest for a truly democratic Kenya.
With Moi, it was cooperating with Kanu. With Kibaki, it was nusu mkate. With Uhuru, it was handshake for the sake of peace. With Ruto, after youths were murdered and brains scattered on pavements in the streets of Nairobi, it's broad-based government. The Ayatollah of Opoda has held the Luo community ransom. Parliament, on the other hand, is filled by rotten, nefarious, greedy thugs and hooligans in expensive suits. Who gives budget hundreds of millions to a silly office like that one of Rachel Ruto, as if power is sexually transmitted, while many kids out here are going without food or access to education, which is and ought to be a basic right.
Enough of you taking advantage of us. And it started very simply by rejecting the finance bill. So my last statement, smart as I sit down. The framers of the Constitution 2010, and I will read because I have posted it on my Twitter, said but a few things. That the greatest threat to liberty in Kenya is an all-powerful central government where only a few dictate the many.
Kenya's democratic journey is a testament to the resilience and determination of its people. It's crucial to remember the lessons of the past and continue striving for a future where justice, equality, and democracy truly prevail.